Okay. So this live stream is for you if you ever thought about writing a book, but you haven't really taken the idea seriously yet. It's also for those of you who've always wanted to write a book, and you know you have at least one book in you and you want to write it before you die. You know, like a bucket list. And you still haven't done anything about it yet. So here are 3 reasons that might prevent you from writing your book, even if you have a very strong desire to write a book. Okay. The first reason is fear. Fear. Okay, so fear. Fear goes both ways. It can be fear of success, and it also can be fear of failure. So the fear of failure is absolutely paralyzing, and it can prevent you from starting anything, actually, not even just writing, but starting anything. Because you're always thinking about the worst case scenario. What's going to go wrong? What happens if? It's all that negative self-talk that's going on in your head. So, but you know, this is here naturally. We all have this. We all have this because it's the protection systems that our brain has. Your brain is trying to protect you from doing something unknown or scary. And the real skill here is to be able to observe your fear and say thank you for the fear, and you know, to be able to kind of say, okay, but I don't really need you. You're not really relevant for my life right now. And and just do what you want to do anyway. So it's kind of like, you know, those people who are handing leaflets out on the street and you don't always want to receive the leaflet, so you might walk on, or sometimes you might take the leaflet because you want to help them do their job. This is like fear. You acknowledge it, you take it, but then you also know, you know, it's going to line your cupboards, or it's going to go in the bin. You're not really going to look at it. You're not really going to pay it that much attention. Yeah, you need to really recognize and deal with your fear, but not take it on. Like, don't buy into it. Don't buy into your fear. Okay. So on the flip side, there's the fear of success. We just talked about the fear of failure, which is paralyzing, but there's also the fear of success. And this can be a problem because success brings new expectations and responsibilities. We worry about how people are going to look at us, how our friends and our co-workers, colleagues are going to perceive us. For trying these new things, for doing new things, for pushing in a different direction. And these fears create psychological barriers and limiting beliefs that stop you from starting or stop you from making progress. I think when dealing with the fear of success, it's important to come up with your own definition of what success means for you. This takes a lot of reflection and really thinking about your core values and your core beliefs. And once you've come up with your own definition of what success means for you, then it's a lot of mindset work and visualizations and really leaning in to what it would feel like to be there in that place of success, allowing yourself to enjoy and celebrate those elevated emotions that come with your own personal definition of success. Learning to enjoy these feelings and that come from within what you have created because you've reached these goals and you've attained this life vision. You are where you want to be in the future. And if you can learn to enjoy those feelings that are coming from within, rather than looking to the outside for external validation, I think it's easier to overcome that fear of success. It takes being clear on where you're going and what you want, your big life vision, the big goals that you have for where you're going. Okay, so that's point number one, fear of success or fear of failure that might stop you from writing your book. Okay, so point number two is imposter syndrome. Okay, now imposter syndrome, this is all wrapped up with self-doubt, self-worth, and a lack of confidence. A lack of self-worth, a lack of security in what you're putting out there, and a lack of confidence because you feel like you're not skilled enough or not knowledgeable enough, and that your ideas are not worthy of being published or written down. So, why would anybody want to read my story? Why would they? Right? It's that fear of self doubt. Okay, so this can undermine your motivation and really prevent you from taking necessary steps to start writing. I want you to listen to this perspective. Um, I don't know what you believe in. Maybe you believe in God. Maybe you believe in Allah. It's spirit, the universe, source energy, whatever it is. Let's assume for the moment that you are an expression of the divine, that like trees, flowers, all of God's creatures on the earth, let's just assume that you are an expression of divine energy. And if you really take that on, if you really accept that, then there's actually no way that you can be an imposter, because everything you say and do, by definition, is straight from the divine, right? Flowers, trees, it's all straight from divine energy. So let's look at it another way. When you're born, babies, let's just think about babies. Babies, they never lack confidence. They never lack confidence. They just do stuff. They do stuff with complete confidence. They don't look at their chubby thighs and think, "Oh, I need to go on a diet." They don't worry about that. They haven't developed any limiting beliefs about themselves yet. So now you can see that actually you're born with confidence. You're born with it. And somehow you teach yourself out of the confidence as you grow up, because you're influenced by society and culture. And so somehow you learn to not pay attention to that God-given confidence anymore. It's gone. But this is a thing. It's a learned thing, and you can unlearn it. So, overcoming these kinds of internal doubts and lack of self-confidence, it's crucial for moving forward with your writing progress. So I don't know if you've heard of Joe Vitale. He's one of my favorites, but he came up with a game called the What If Up game. And it's great to play with a friend. So if you're thinking about the what if, the negative what ifs, you can always flip it. So for example, you flip it, what if my ideas aren't good enough? If you flip it up, it becomes, what if my ideas are good enough, right? And then if you what if up, if you have a friend, what if you add layers to this what if. So what if my ideas are good enough and I write an ebook? What if my ideas are good enough and my ebook is super successful and it becomes a hardback book? What if my ideas really are good enough and 300 people buy my hardback book? What if I can see that my ideas are like really, really are good enough, and I decide to write a course based on my book? What if up? What if 300 people enroll in my course? And then you can what if up, what if up, what if up. It can get really ridiculous, but let's just go with it. What if 1,000 people enroll in your course? What if up? What if you build an academy based on your best-selling ebook? What if you build $1 million business based on your best-selling ebook? So what if up? Always going up. If you can one up each other when you're playing the what if up game. Okay, this is a fun game and it's really useful and helpful when overcoming imposter syndrome. Okay, so, oh, hi, is that Miwa there? Hello. Hi, Miwa. Hi. Okay, thank you for joining me. I'm talking about 3 reasons why you aren't starting your book. So, we talked about fear, the fear of success, and the fear of failure. Now I'm talking about imposter syndrome. We just talked about imposter syndrome. Now, the last point is a perceived lack of time or energy, focus, motivation, money, resources, a perceived lack of resources. Now, it's important to recognize that super successful people, people that you consider to be super successful, have the same amount of resources, time, and energy that you do, right? They have the same amount. We're all starting with the same amount. So it really is a perceived lack of time, energy, focus, motivation. And this happens because usually you have a busy schedule, you have family commitments, and sometimes you believe that the conditions have to be just right in order to start writing your book, right? Um, if things aren't just right, then it's just not the right time. But this is a perceived barrier, and it does need, this hurdle needs to be overcome. And the only way that this is going to be overcome is if you reevaluate your priorities. If you reassess, you reflect, and you look at your life and you think, I need to change my priorities. What is the most important thing for me? And this this happens when you have a compelling life vision. When you know where you're going, you know where you want to be, right? In the future, you know what you're working towards. That's the thing that's going to decide what's important for you. And then that combined with urgency, urgency. And what's happened, I think, for me and quite a few of my friends, is you get to be over 40 and you realize you have less time to play with. you know you start to think, well, this, I'm not really where I want to be in life. I want to make more money. I want to build a business. I want to have a good retirement. I want to buy a better house. There are things that you want to do. I want to be healthier. I want to have more energy. But you feel like you have less time to complete your life vision, to complete these goals. So you become a bit more urgent and a bit more desperate. And when this happens, you can bet your bottom dollar that you're going to find the time. You will find the time. You will reorganize your life, reschedule things, and you will find the time. So, um, if this happens, you know, you also have to remember the perfect conditions might never exist. The perfect conditions might never exist. So stop waiting for perfect conditions to happen. Does this mean that you're never going to start if the perfect conditions don't happen? Well, I don't know about you, but when I'm old and I look back on my life, I don't want to be thinking, well, I really wish that I tried writing that book. I really wish that I tried opening that business when I had the chance. I really wish. I don't want to be filled with regret over all these missed opportunities. Um, so, again, We have the same amount of time and resources that everybody does. We all do. So it's about how you use it, and it's about the choices that you make, and that's the thing that makes the difference. So there you have it. These are three reasons why you might be procrastinating on starting to write your book. Fear of failure or success, imposter syndrome, and a perceived lack of time, energy, and other resources like focus, motivation, money, etc. So, if you are struggling to start with your writing journey, it's going to take a lot of self reflection and a lot of mindset shifts. You're really going to have to work on your mindset. I've already helped three incredible women to become Amazon best-selling authors, and I know I can do that for you too. So, if you would like to become an Amazon best-selling author on the pre-order, which, by the way, is an amazing, masterful marketing strategy that Amazon has put that out there in your toolkit, in your arsenal of things that you can use to start your business or boost your business, then you can PM me on Facebook, on Instagram, or you can leave a comment on YouTube. Um, Also, you could book a next level coaching call with me. It's valued at 1,497 US dollars, but it would be complimentary for you. You can reach me at rebrand.ly/unleash what's possible. One more time, rebrand.ly/unleash what's possible. I'll put it in the caption box. That's the description of this live stream. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm sure I'll be back soon, and get writing your book. And if you can't, give me a call. I'm Coach Caroline. Remember, when it comes to building and creating a life of, and sorry, when it comes to creating a life and business of fun and ease, bring out PSP, your planning, your scheduling, and your prioritizing. Goodbye.